I recently heard of the broken window theory. It's an attempt to explain why some areas of a city have higher crime rates than others. The name comes from the indicators that an area is in disorder. Stripped cars, litter, graffiti, buildings that clearly aren't being repaired, i.e. broken windows. The theory is there are two kinds of disorder: social disorder, the way people behave, and physical disorder, the way the area looks. And the citizens don't feel safe when there is disorder. Brilliant. If a neighborhood is filled with aggressive panhandlers, trash-filled lots, drunks, smashed glass, and the citizens who can leave the area, that weakens the social control in the area. And that means more serious problems start happening. Drugs, prostitution, more abandoned buildings, and more people move out of the area. And then robbery, murder, and rape become more common. It's a downward spiral. Things just keep getting worse over the course of many years. Why should a person care about broken window theory? Well, the theory is loved by academics, so it's currently being taught, or at least seriously hashed in colleges. It's also loved by law enforcement. It's how law enforcement uses the theory that really matters. The common belief on how to counter the downward spiral is to focus on the small problems, and the major crimes stop happening. Happening less often anyway. An example often used is the New York subway. Plainclothes police would hang around the entrance and arrest people who jumped the turnstiles or committed other misdemeanors. Shortly after they started, there was a reduction in other crimes being reported on the subway. Broken window policing has been credited for the change in New York. The New York Transit Authority started in 1990. In 1994, the citywide Quality of Life Initiative started to crack down on panhandling, public drinking, street prostitution, unsolicited windshield washers, and other disorderly behavior. In both times, the focus was on social disorder, treating most of the social disorder as crimes. There was a zero tolerance policy, leading to a 190% increase in arrests and tickets for misdemeanors. New York's stop and frisk policy is part of their anti-social disorder policing. There are other cities around the world that have used broken window theory in some similar way to combat high crime rates. Many also boast some type of success. The draw to the theory is the quickly visible effort, without a too drastic increase in spending. After all, they already have the police force, and the change is more about what the police focus on, affecting change through policing. Saying that out loud sounds ominous, like a tagline for a dystopian action B movie. The idea that police can make such a big difference in a short time is an easy sell. The question is, does it really work? And the best answer is, maybe, probably not. Where social disorder has been addressed, there is a noticeable change in those areas, how safe those areas feel. New York is no longer seen as too big to be controlled. It's been tamed. But the effects of the Quality of Life Initiative is still unclear. There are a lot of results that look very positive, but the results are not empirical. And it's worth noting that in the 1990s, there was a nationwide drop in crime, all in the same time frame that New York did. At the time, only New York City and Albuquerque were using broken window policing. There have been a handful of tests and studies done, and the results kind of support the theory. first. Wesley Sogan, a political scientist, found that some types of disorder lead only to certain types of serious crime. Sogan himself says that the results don't prove the broken window theory. Bernard Harcut, a political theorist, did a reanalysis of Sogan's data and found that the link between neighborhood disorder, assault, rape, and burglary vanished when poverty and neighborhood stability were controlled. Only a link remained between robbery and disorder. A criminal justice scholar named Ralph Taylor found no distinct pattern of crime and disorder. Rather, some specific social disorder was linked to some specific crimes, but the disorders were not the cause for the crimes. He suggested that the zero-tolerance approach to social disorder had no impact on crime rates and may have a long-term negative impact on those arrested. The broken window theory is not complete. The theory doesn't take population density, geography, how neighborhoods affect one another, or economic conditions into account. The fact that law enforcement is using it to set policy is a problem. After all, the only tools to deal with disorder that police have are detain, ticket, and arrest. That may remove a lot of social disorder from public sight. However, that does not change the reason why both social and physical disorder and crime happens. Dealing with disorder this way is just dealing with a symptom of a bigger problem. After all, broken window theory is about why an area has a high crime rate. It doesn't explain why people commit crime, and it doesn't even try. The claimed positive results of targeting social disorder haven't been proven, but there are very clear negative results. Ferguson, Missouri, Baltimore, Maryland, New York City, New York. All of them have used broken window policing. All of them have had questionable policing actions in the news. All of them have some of the lowest levels of public trust in the police. Nationwide, distrust of the police is at a 22-year low. No, they're not the only cities that have broken window policing, but they do have some of the most aggressive antisocial disorder policing. When a police force treats most of its citizens like they're criminals all the time, then that police force has lost its legitimacy. If the citizens who once feared one another only fear the police, then there hasn't been any improvement at all. Broken window theory is just speculation, and it's been used to justify enforcement nearing draconian levels, and that's created distrust in law enforcement. The results of antisocial disorder policing are questionable at best, so the ends clearly don't justify the means. Thanks for watching, and good luck.